Aloha, it's Kim Jolene with Finding Your Fiji, and I'm here doing your 2020 forecast for the Chinese New Year. And this year is the year of the metal rat. So I'll be sharing with you sort of a general overview of the year, some tidbits about industries that are going to be favorable or potentially challenging this year, other little bits about numerology, and then also about specific animals. So the year of 2019, the year of the Earth Pig, was a bit challenging for many people. And one of the things that I think about is, there's always good and positive things that come with the challenges, and always learning that comes with the challenges. 2019 in general was more of a reflection year, right? Going within, it definitely had an energy of things sort of pulling together, but oftentimes things fell apart before they could come together. So there was that sort of energy that was happening in 2019. In the new year of 2020, not only do we have a new decade, but it's also fresh, positive energy from the Chinese astrology perspective as well. And the reason for that is because the rat, which is the animal that is represented for the year 2020, is the first animal in the zodiac signs. And we are actually beginning a new 60-year cycle. So just to share with you a little bit about how this works, there's 12 zodiac animals, just like there are in the regular zodiac, and each animal cycles through the 5 elements, the 5 Feng Shui elements, okay? So it creates this 60-year cycle. And with this year of the metal rat, we are beginning a brand new cycle. So this is a fresh start. It's very much, the energy of this year is about opportunities, about fresh starts. It's going to be a great year for businesses and for promoting yourself. It's really a great time to reap the benefits of sort of the seeds that you have sown, the work that you have done over the last several years. And it's also a year for planning, but not just planning. It is a year for taking action on the plans. So you can make the plans, but then you've also got to start taking action on these things. The possibility of experiencing abundance is available to everyone this year. Yay, we love that, right? Really, really awesome. And from the Chinese zodiac perspective, I know a lot of people are talking about 2020 being the year of vision or perfect vision, kind of going, doing that metaphor with your eyes being 2020 vision. But the Chinese zodiac also fits with this because metal is about clarity and it is about vision. It is about focus. So that really kind of dovetails nicely in with the Chinese zodiac energy. So each animal is naturally connected to an element. The rat's element is water. So that's the natural connection between the rat and water, is a natural connection. This year we have a metal rat. And if you know anything about the Feng Shui cycles, metal produces water. So if you think about like the condensation on a metal water bottle that's not insulated, right? If this wasn't insulated and had something cold, you'd see probably condensation on there. This is insulated, so that doesn't show that. But in any event, metal does produce water. So there is sort of this symmetry with the water element of the rat and this metal. So there's a possibility of it being a calmer, a smoother year, right? More peaceful year. However, the energy of metal itself is more yang. It is more aggressive, more masculine, more destructive, if you will. If you think about like metal piercing the ground, right? And so there is that energy that's coming in this year. And this year is not a year to be lazy, because the element of metal is about focus. You want to be actually taking action, getting organized, refining things, having discipline, having structure, right? doing things logically, being honest. Honesty is another trait of metal. So as I share with you the next bit, I am going to share my screen so that you guys can look at, let me find my share screen. Here we go. Great. So this is going to show you, in case you're not familiar with what animal you are. This is a handy chart that I will hopefully put a link to this below as well, so that if you're not able to, but you can certainly screenshot it. I'm going to leave this up there for a while. And this will show you what animal you are. The caveat is, and this is important, the birth year is starting on February 4th. So if your birthday is on or before February 4th, you look to the previous year for your animal. So for instance, if you were born in 1966, but you were born on January 31st, of 1966, you are actually a snake rather than a horse. So you go back to the year previous, and that is going to be a snake rather than a horse. I'm a horse. I'm a 1966er, and you know, it's pretty self-explanatory, you can see. And then down here, I have the best times of day for the different animals. And one of the things that's interesting about our rat is that the rat spans 2 different days. So it's 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. And that energy is sort of a split personality, right? When we look at that, you know, it has both the yin and the yang. It has the evening and it has the morning. The other interesting thing about the rat is it has, front paws have 4 fingers, which is more yin, and more even, right? And the back feet have 5 toes. So that's more yang. So it's got this very yin-yang energy to it. And that gives us a clue as to how this year is going to go for us. Rats are very introverted. Just in general, we can look at the personality of the rat to see, you know, what kind of year we're going to have. Rats are more introverted, but they also need to be around people. So it's sort of, again, this dichotomy that they've got going on here. They can be very bossy. After all, they are the #1 animal in the Chinese Zodiac, right? Kind of like the Aries in the traditional Zodiac. Rats tend to live in the moment. They tend to be very devoted to their family. They're very detail-oriented. So that's an interesting connection also with that metal energy. However, they don't really like to work that hard. So much of their success is more brain power, right, coming from their minds. And they're very adaptable. Rats are pretty adaptable, right? And so that is a good quality that will help you this year. Their best friend is the ox. So they do have other friends, but the rat's best friend is the ox. So that obviously tells you the ox is going to have a good year this year, being that their best friend is leading the pack. The other friends associated with the rat are dragons and monkeys. And so that also kind of gives you an idea about this coming year and what kind of energy will be happening during this year. The other thing before I kind of get into the energy specifically for the year of the metal rat that I want to share with you is the numerology, because I think it's interesting to see how that numerology connects with the energy of the metal rat. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I think everybody's got their animal, and if not, there will be a link below for that. So the numerology this year, it's a 22-4 year. And what that means is that the 2-2 extrapolates down to 4. We add the 2 and the 2 together, it brings the 4. It's a very powerful energy, this 22-4. And I always love to look at Louise Hay's book, Colors and Numbers, as it relates to these numbers. The 22-4 relates to greatness. And then when you look at the 4 by itself, that is about being practical, which connects very strongly with that energy of metal. So those are some really interesting connections with that. Some of the things that are going to be good this year, things that I would recommend doing this year, is working with others in your community. So you want to be focusing on projects that benefit many people, not just you, right? So there's this beautiful community connection. Building something is going to be really great this year. So lay the foundation, build something. Being constructive, and this means not just with actually building things, but being constructive with your you know, what you're putting out there. Be positive, right? Be happy as you do your work. That's always going to bring good luck to you, right? No matter what. Be productive, be organized. So this isn't a year to sit back and do nothing. This is a year to take action and focus on the details. So that, again, that energy of focus with the metal as well as with the 2020, right? It's all about focusing, paying attention to the details, you know, making those lists, checking them off. This is going to be a good year to work on big projects. So following, and when you're doing a project, it is about breaking it down into smaller chunks, right? Follow a schedule for completion. So one of the, my favorite tools for this is Trello. I use Trello a lot for organizing my retreats, for planning group things, all of that type of thing. So be in a space of self-discipline. This is going to be something to use your mind and, again, be disciplined to get things done. Decluttering is always good, but this is going to be particularly good this year because you want to be in a space of having a clear space, a clear mind, a clear life, right? So weed out anything that is not bringing you joy, anything that is not sparking joy. Organize and care for your things. I talked to you guys about this on the last video where I was giving suggestions for what to do before the Chinese New Year begins. So organizing, caring for things, your home, your clothes, your finances, all of those type of things. The color for the element of metal, which is, again, we are in a metal rat year that's coming. The color is white and gold, metallics, that type of thing. So we're more white, we're more metallics, more gold, even grays, right, are a good metal energy, and that will help you tap in. If you need to focus, wear those colors, right? White, metallics, gold. You can even wear, you know, metal jewelry, right? Things that are round are also associated with, and arcs are also associated with the element of metal. Be in harmony with the earth. So spend time outside, spend more time outside, use eco-friendly products, right? Give back to the earth by helping clean up the planet. That's going to be really good for you to do this year. Okay, so let's look at the industries that, and again, you know, you can probably find a whole bunch of different forecasts for the Chinese New Year. I am just sharing what I'm feeling around this, some of the people that I follow that I resonate with that are sharing these things, and so I kind of pulled a few things together. So industries that will perform well in 2020 include industries that involve computers, restaurants, mining, right? So that earth, again, we've got that earth. Banking and finances, that's an organization thing, right? Entertainment is going to be really good for the coming year. Insurance, so kind of having those ducks in a row, again, that connection there. Power generation, so things that generate power, solar, you know, electric plants, that type of thing. Real estate is going to do well this year. Technology is going to do well this year. Construction and things that involve machinery are going to be good this year. So then what are the industries that are going to be challenged this year? So this one, fashion actually can kind of go either way, I feel like. Because metal is about, you know, being pristine or in, you know, organized and taking care of things, I feel like fashion could potentially be a good, do well in 2020, but it can also be challenged, just because of, you know, sort of that rat energy, right? And so other challenge industries, media, communication, books. It might be a little bit more challenging this year to be publishing a book. Shipping can also be problematic this year. Transport, again, similar type of thing. And the environment can also be challenging this year. Okay, so in the coming year, I want to see, like, want to share with you how this looks for you in the coming year. So for those of you that are born in a year that ends in 5 or 9, right? A year that ends in 5 or a year that ends in 9. This is actually a bonus year for you because you have the nobleman. And what that means is it's a gift for you. And the nobleman brings support. It brings protection. It brings guidance and solution in the form of helpful people for you and assistance that's going to come in for you for this year. So you're going to be able to find solutions more easily. You are going to get the help that you need this year. And this really does make the year more comfortable for you, make it an easier year for you, and it really will offset some of you that may be having a challenging year. So if your birth year ends in a 5 or a 9, this is going to be a good year for you. It's a great time to write a book, make a move, start something new, take a trip. So those are kind of the special people that have the nobleman this year. For the Chinese animals, those that are going to have a really good year, typically, or have the potential. I always like to say the potential because it can always shift, right? There's many different factors that happen as we move along. Our choices, obviously, our environment, and then also our luck. So the good year is the ox, because the ox is friends with the rat. So that is going to be a good year for the ox. The dragon and monkey are also going to have a good year because they sort of create this this triune. The rat is going to be okay. Like, that's, you know, not always is the year that your animal is going to be good, but the rat is going to be okay. Not going to be fabulous, but it's going to be sort of neutral. The other sort of neutral animals are tiger, snake, rooster, dog, and pig. So I'm not going to go into, there's so many different horoscopes out there. I'm not going to go into the energy for each one because I do that for the regular zodiac, so I'm not going to do that here, specifics on that. But I am going to give you a little bit more clue about particularly those animals that are having a challenging year. So the horse, which I'm a horse, it's a clash year. Us and the rat do not get along. There's a clash animal for everyone, and the horse and the rat are clash animals. And so this could mean that it's a little bit more challenging year. The rabbit and the sheep, also known as the goat, may also be having a challenging year. I've heard from other people that the sheep's going to have a great year, you know, so there's lots of different things. And the horse, I've heard, is going to be doing a lot of traveling this year, which I think, to me, that makes a great year. And I've already seen that coming up for me. I've got several trips that are in the works for me as well. So what does it mean when you have a challenging year? It's a year to be more cautious, not to take risks. It's a year to sort of step back and slow down, and kind of lay low a little bit. And lay low doesn't mean don't take action. It just means you're not wanting to make big shifts or changes. The horse in general is going to have some changes that are going to happen for us throughout the year. That's kind of what happens with the clash year. It's a shake-up year a bit. So we might find ourselves in the midst of change. But if you follow the guidance to really just sort of slow down, take your time making decisions, don't take big risks, it can still be an amazingly incredible year for us, okay? And one of the things that can help you is to have an ox talisman. So because the ox is friends with the rat, having an ox with you throughout the year is going to help sort of run interference between you and the rat. So this could be a stone figurine, it could be a necklace, a stuffed animal. I really like it to be something physical, and it should be something where you can place it in a spot that you'll see it every single day. So what I typically do, like I had my little tiger last year. The tiger was friends with the pig. I had my little tiger last year. I've got a little ox coming. And what I'm going to do is set it in my bathroom, because I'm always in my bathroom every morning to get ready for the day, brush my teeth, comb my hair. And so I see it there next to my little calendar every day. I am going to put some links below for some ideas related to different ox talismans or tokens that you can use. And these are associated with my Amazon account. So there is, it doesn't cost you anymore to go through the link, but I do get a little tiny affiliate payment for that, just so you know about that. But I will put some links below to some of those things. So keep this talisman somewhere where you'll see it daily, on your dresser, bathroom counter. You could even, wear it. You could have like a, a jade pendant or something like that. That you might want to wear. These are just things that will be helpful for you. Again, this ox will help run interference for you in the new year. So have an amazing year, and we'll see you next time. Much love and aloha.